How to manage with server schedule changes. Hi, my name is Sahara and I train restaurant servers to be more successful in the restaurant industry, and I also share where to eat and drink in Brooklyn, New York. If you're not following me already, please follow me across social at Sahara and online at saharacontasti.com. How to manage with server schedule changes. The thing I love about the restaurant industry, or anything associated or affiliated with it is the flexibility. The reason why I chose to be a restaurant server is because of the flexibility. And depending on the restaurant, if it opens at lunch and dinner, there's so much flexibility. You get to either work lunch shifts, you get to either work dinner shifts. It's like you don't get that option in a lot of other jobs, so that flexibility was definitely a perk for me. But with that comes schedule changes. Unless you have a set schedule, your schedule can change weekly. It can sometimes change daily depending on a circumstance that may have happened at the restaurant. So managing server schedule changes, I have 3 tips for you. The first is going to be notify management. Now, this is more for you as a server. Say you have another casting call, it's your second go around, and you unexpectedly cannot work your shift. It could be the same day, it could be 2 days in advance. As soon as possible, as soon as you find out, you should notify management. Now, what can management do? Management can find somebody else to cover your shift. Management can also be the ones to let you know, hey, you know what, we don't really even need to have 5-6 servers today. We're okay with 4. It may not be that busy. It's gonna snow, So they can really make that judgment call to say, hey, don't worry about it. So notifying them is great. Now, you wanna notify them also if you are doing tip number 3, but we'll get to that shortly. So tip number 2, check schedule software often. Now, a lot of companies use online scheduling systems. I know my most recent restaurant uses Schedulefly, and management creates a schedule in Schedulefly for all the staff and then is able to send it out. You can also see who else is working that day. You can see any notes and announcements. So checking your schedule often will keep you up to date for any changes, like, oh, it's gonna snow really, really badly today. We are not gonna be open. Or the heating is not working, and so please dress warmly. So you wanna check daily for these kind of announcements. Maybe the software can send notifications to your phone, because I know many of us don't check our email often, especially as servers. So you want to, always, as much as possible, check your schedule through whatever system the management company offers. Through whatever system the restaurant offers. Now, they can use Excel spreadsheets as well. That's kind of old school, but if they are, that means that they're gonna really notify you via phone or text message or email. So you definitely want to check your email and your messages often as well too, if they're using an old school system. The third tip, build relationships with your coworkers. Not just the management or the host team, but amongst your server team. You want to be able to communicate with them and be receiving. So let's say you have to cover a shift, but whenever people ask you, you always say no. Who's gonna wanna cover your shift? No one. So you want to also do favors for people. If someone asks you to come in, that you come in on a day that you never come in, like on a Wednesday, then I think you should, once in a while, bind your belly and just be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for the team, because you never know, you might need something and you may need to ask this person or ask anyone, and because you're always saying no, boop, you never get your shift covered whenever you ask. So you also want to build relationships amongst your team members as a server, because let's just say you need to switch your day. Sometimes some of your team members may be okay with switching as long as they have their shifts, as opposed to, losing a shift. And maybe you don't want to lose a shift, you want to switch your day with a coworker. And so building relationships, being cool, being cordial, doing favors can help facilitate that. So building relationships is the third tip. So to recap, how to manage the server schedule changes. Any change in your schedule as a server, notify management as soon as possible. Second, you want to check your schedule software system often, daily, whenever you can. And you want to build relationships with your teammates. If you enjoyed this video, please comment below, like, and subscribe. You can definitely follow me across social at Sahara Contasti and online at saharacontasti.com, where I share more restaurant server training tips to be more successful in the restaurant industry, and also where to eat and drink in Brooklyn, New York. Please do subscribe and follow me across social. Thanks for joining me.